Right then, welcome back to Solo Devs. Today we start something big, our first game development tutorial. We're building Orbit Run, a casual but sharp game, all in Unity and ready for Android. Orbit Run is a simple concept, but it's tricky. The player moves a character around a rotating path, dodging obstacles, switching directions with a click. Perfect for mobile devices, but don't be fooled. It'll test your Unity skills. Now I'll take you through the basics. Let's get started by setting up our Unity project. First things first, open Unity, create a new 2D project, and call it Orbit Run. We're going with 2D because this game doesn't need any fancy 3D stuff. Keep it tight, keep it simple. We've got the basics of Orbit Run sorted. Now this is a mobile game, so we need to set up the build settings for Android. Head up to File and click on Build Settings. This is where we choose which platform we're building for. Now we're looking to build for Android, so scroll down the platform list, find Android, and select it. Now head up to the Window tab in the top menu, and from there click on Package Manager. This is where we manage all assets in Unity in the Package Manager window. Make sure Unity Registry is selected from the drop-down menu. This shows us all the packages available to download. Now scroll down until you see TextMesh Pro. It's one of Unity's built-in assets for displaying text, and trust me, it's top-notch. Click on TextMesh Pro, then click Install in the top right corner. Right, once you've got your TextMesh Pro installed, there's one more thing we need to do to make sure it's all set up properly. Go up to File, then head down to Build Settings. Once you're in Build Settings, look at the bottom left and click Player Settings. This opens up all the important configurations for your project. Now scroll down to TextMesh Pro. This will be in your package list under Other Settings, or sometimes in Scripting Defined Symbols, depending on your version of Unity. Once you've found it, click Import. This will bring in the rest of the assets we need for TextMesh Pro to work across different platforms, including Android. Right-click below the folders. Now go to Create, then find Scene. There it is. Click it. When that little prompt comes up to name it, type in Main Menu, no spaces. We keep it clean around here. All right, that's one scene done. Now let's do it again, but this time we'll call it Gameplay. Simple enough, even for a game dev, eh? Great, you've got your scenes. So what you want to do is this. Go up to File, then click on Build Settings. This is where we tell Unity which scenes to include when we build the game. Right, now in the Build Settings window, you'll see a list. Probably empty in it. We're going to fix that. Head down to the button that says Add Open Scenes. Click that, boom. Main menu gets added. But don't stop there. Open up your gameplay scene too and do the same. Now we've got both scenes in the build, ready for action. Right, now that we've got our scenes sorted, it's time to make things a bit more presentable. I've got some assets pre-made for you, nice and tidy. You'll find them down in the description, download them, and we'll drag them into Unity together. Once you've got the assets, open the folder. You'll see 3 folders in there. Simple stuff. Now here's what you do. Go back into Unity, find the Assets folder in your project window. Next, drag those 3 folders from your downloads right into the Unity Assets folder, just like this. You may be wondering, what assets did we just drag into Unity, eh? Well, let me explain it to you proper-like. First off, we've got this Editor folder. What's in it? The colors for our game. You'll notice we've set up some custom colors here. Just a bit of polish to make the game look sharp. Now next up is the prefab folder. Inside you'll see a prefab of an explosion particle. Later on I'll guide you through how to create one of these from scratch. But for now we've got this ready to go. Gonna add a bit of flair when things blow up in game. And finally there's the resources folder. This is where we're keeping all the art and sound, the visuals and audio that'll bring the game to life. Now it's time to bring our game to life. We've got the scenes, we've got the assets, but a game ain't a game without the brains behind it, the scripts. So here's what you're gonna do. Create yourself a new folder just for scripts. We keep things organized around here, yeah? Right-click in the Assets folder, go to Create, and select Folder. Name it Scripts. Simple. Now inside this folder, we're going to add 6 scripts: Game Manager, Gameplay Manager, Main Menu Manager, Obstacle, player, and soundmanager.cs. These scripts will be the engine behind our game. Don't know how to add a script? No worries, I've got you. Right-click in the Scripts folder, go to Create, then find C# script. Give it a desired name. That's it. Very simple, eh? Now repeat that 5 more times for each of the scripts I just mentioned. Once you've done that, you're all set for the next step. All right, now let's make a quick change to the game view. Switch it to mobile ratio, because remember, this game's for mobile. You don't want to be setting up for a big screen when it's going to be played on a small one, do you? Now head up to File, then Build Settings, and from there, jump into Player Settings. We're going to tweak something called Script Execution Order. Sounds fancy, right? But it's dead simple. Here's how it works. The topmost script runs first, then it follows the sequence. So you need to add the scripts in the same order I'm about to show you. It's a pretty interesting system, like setting up a domino line. One falls, the rest follow. Makes you feel a bit clever, don't it? Once you've got them lined up in order, don't forget to press Apply. That locks it all in. All right, mates, all the settings are configured nicely, everything in place. Now let's move on to the design part of this game. Gotta make it look sharp, yeah? We'll start with the camera. Gotta get the backdrop right first. So select your main camera from the hierarchy on the left. On the right side, you'll see the properties of the main camera. Simple enough, yeah? Scroll down a bit until you find environment. Now we want to change the background type to solid color. You can pick whatever color suits your fancy. For me, I'll use this color, something that gives the game a bit of edge. But hey, it's your game. You can use whatever color you like. So that's it, the backdrop is set. We're starting to shape the look and feel of the game. Step by step, it's coming together. All right, now we're getting into the UI of our game, starting with the main menu. Make sure you've opened the main menu scene that we created earlier. Remember that? Good. Now in the hierarchy on the left, you'll see a little plus icon. Go ahead, click that. Scroll down to UI and then select Canvas. This is what handles all the UI elements on your screen. Think of the canvas as the frame for all the buttons, text, and graphics we're going to add. Without it, there's no place for them to live. When you add a canvas, you'll also get something called an event system. It's what lets the UI interact with the player. So when they click a button, it responds. All right, now select that canvas and let's adjust the properties quick and sharp. First, head over to the canvas settings. Set the render mode to screen space camera. Then for the render camera, pick the main camera from our scene. Next, set the plane distance to 10. Simple enough, yeah? Now onto the canvas scaler. Change the UI scale mode to scale with screen size. Set the resolution to 1080 by 2160, and for the screen match mode, choose expand. Easy as that. And there you go. Voila, canvas setup is complete. Now we need to create the title of our game in the main menu. Under the canvas, let's add a bit of flair. Select Text Mesh Pro and name the text Orbit Run. But you can give it any name you fancy, yeah? Next, I'm going to adjust some settings to make it look sharp. You can follow me or do your own thing with the design. First, I'll change the font family and bump up the size of my title a bit. Gotta make it bold. Stand out, yeah. Then I'll switch up the color. Make it pop against that background. Something eye-catching. Now let's position this bad boy at the top of the screen like a proper heading. I'll tweak the position, width, and height settings until it's just right. And don't forget to align it proper using the alignment settings. Center it up, make it look neat as a pin. Well, I found width, 1214.5, and height, 270.3 is best for me. And position, let me think. X, 0, and 745Y. Now let's play with the alignment settings. I would like to center everything. This generation need to be centered. Haha. Okay, it looks great. Perfect. But wait, where is the run? Shit, I forgot to add it. Let's add a new text. Better we duplicate the orbit text. All right, we got out text ready, just a but more. Right-click and copy and paste. Here we go. Make sure it is inside Canvas, yeah. Let's now just rename to run. Perfect. And now only left adjust the position a bit. Maybe Pooh's Y480 is best for me. All right, mate, the title looking great. Now all that's left is a play button to start the game. Head to the canvas in the hierarchy, right-click, and add an image under the UI. I guess we are getting into it. Let's set the width and height first of our image. Width and height of 256. That's the perfect square I need. Now let's change the source image to a circle. Next, set the color to something that pops. Something perfect for your game. I've got my own color combination, but you can whip up your own, yeah. This color suits my game, so I will go with this. If you want my combination, you can find it in the description. Wow, looking great. Do you like it? Oh, this generation. All right, let's move on. We need to add a component of button. You later will need it to trigger the game. Oh, and I almost forgot to rename the image. Let's do that now. One rules of game development, try to keep everything proper. Name and arrange later gives a problem. I'll name it play. Much better, yeah? Let's move forward, mates. We've got more to do to finish this up. Add another image under the one we just created and name play. Set the width to 256 and the height to 160. Looking like a nice rectangle, yeah? Now let's change the source image. Switch it to this play icon. But hold on, I see the position isn't properly aligned with the circle. Let's fix that. First, I'll quickly set the color for my play icon. Looking nice. Now for the position, let's set the X position to 16. That should put it right in the center of the circle. Now it's time to add the score titles on the main menu. I'll duplicate the title to make this quick. Next, I'll adjust the position and rename it to something like 000. Gotta keep it simple, yeah? Now let's change the font size to, I'll go with 128. And time for some colors. I'll stick with my own combo, looking sharp. Here we are, all set. Now let's duplicate this again and give it a title. I'll rename it to New Best to track the current score. Now I'll adjust some settings, like the font size, let's set it to 96, and need to tweak the position a bit. At last, rename the text that display on screen to New Best. Perfect. Now in the same way, we'll duplicate score and New Best. Let's get that done. First, rename score to high score, simple as that. Now let's adjust the position. Follow my screen to achieve the same result. Next, let's rename New Best to Best and adjust that position as well. And don't forget to set the screen text to Best as well. Nice and neat. Now the time has come to add managers to manage the game functions. Yeah, you heard it right, lads. First, create 3 empty game objects and name them. Menu Manager, Sound Manager, and Game Manager. Simple enough, yeah? Now add the main Menu Manager script to the Menu Manager. Let's keep things organized. Then for the Sound Manager, add the Sound Manager script. But don't forget, add the audio source component as well. Set the volume to 0.5, just enough to keep things balanced. And last but not least, add the Game Manager script to the Game Manager object. All set, mate. Finally, time to code Sound Manager. All right, let's break this down, mates. So even if you've never touched a line of code before, you'll understand how this Sound Manager works. Point 1. The imports. This gives us access to all of Unity's core tools and functions, like game objects, audio, and more. You always see this at the top of Unity scripts. Point 2. Class declaration. This is where we define our Sound Manager. It's a class, meaning it's like a blueprint or set of instructions for how to handle sounds in the game. Mono behavior just means it's attached to something in the game world, like an object. Point 3. Singleton pattern. Now this bit is important, yeah? This line makes Sound Manager a singleton. In plain English, it means there will only ever be one Sound Manager in the whole game, and whenever you need it, you can reference this instance. Think of it like the boss of all sound-related stuff. There's only one, and it's in charge. Point 4. Awake method. This function runs before anything else, when the game starts, or when this object appears. It's like setting everything up. We're checking if there's already a Sound Manager running. If there isn't one, we set this one as the instance. If there's no other Sound Manager, this one becomes the boss, the instance. This line makes sure the Sound Manager doesn't get destroyed when we change scenes or levels. It's like saying, stay alive no matter what. If there's already a Sound Manager somewhere in the game, we destroy this new one to avoid having more than one. Remember, only one boss allowed. Point 5. Audio source. This is where we link the audio source in the Unity editor. An audio source is what actually plays the sounds in the game. The serialized field part just means we can assign it in the editor without making it public. Private means no other script can mess with it. Point 6. Play sound method. This function allows us to play a sound. We pass in an audio clip, which is the actual sound file we want to play. Here's where the magic happens. Play one shot means we play the sound once and it doesn't loop. It's perfect for sound effects like button clicks or explosions. This script is your sound manager, handling all the sound effects in the game. It makes sure there's only ever one sound manager. It doesn't get destroyed when you switch scenes. It has a function called play sound, which you can call any time to play a sound effect once. So now, even if you've never coded before, you've got a handle on how this works. Easy, yeah. Let's move on to the another script, which is Game Manager, the heart of every single game developers. Right. Here we make sure there's only one game manager, the boss. No need for any duplicates running around. One can be in charge. If there's another, well, we destroy it. Just like me, Tommy Shelby. There's only room for one. In Awake, we check if this game manager's already top dog. If not, we make it the boss and make sure it don't disappear when the scenes change. Don't destroy on load, like it stays around. If there's already one running, we get rid of the new one. Like I always say, there ain't no need for two leaders, just causes problems. Now this bit here, we're tracking the high score. We stash it in player prefs, our little vault. Even when the game's closed, it's tucked away safe. When you come back, it's right there, ready to fetch. When there's a new high score, we save it. Simple, just like running the books at the betting shop. This here's your current score, just what you're racking up right now. Not about the best, just about what's going on in the moment. No time for getting soft, just cold, hard numbers. This flag here tells us if things are set up proper or not. If it's false, we know the game ain't ready yet. If it's true, everything's in place. Like asking Polly if the family business is good to go. We initialize things here. Reset the score to 0 and mark that the game ain't started yet with this initialized equals false. Like before you go into battle, check your weapons, make sure everything's in order. We're setting up two constants, one for the main menu, one for gameplay. It's like keeping your contacts on the phone. Easy to call them up when you need to change scenes. When you hit this, it sends you back to the main menu. After a game, back to square one. Like coming home after a long day, plan your next move. And here's the opposite. Ready for action? You hit this, takes you from the menu right into the battlefield, from the office to the scrap, just like getting into a fight after the solo devs plan. There you go, mate. That's the game manager, all explained. No fluff, no nonsense. Just the straight, hard truth like we do things in solo devs. Let's move on to the next script, which your menu manager. This will be responsible to control our main menu in our tiny little casual game. All right, let's get into this. Nice and easy. No fancy talk, just the way it works, yeah? First off, we're declaring some text fields here. These are for displaying the score, if it's a new best score and the best score. Think of them as signboards in a race. We're telling the player how they did and if they've beat their previous record. Right when the menu wakes up, we set the best score to show the player's high score. Simple as that. Grabbing the high score from the game manager and showing it on the screen. Now, if the game ain't started yet, like say the player hasn't played a game or the game is reset, we hide the score in the new best text. No point showing that when there's no score to show. But if it's all set up, we run a coroutine called show score, which will do a fancy job of animating the score display. Here we've got a couple of settings for our animation. Animation time is how long the animation lasts, and the speed curve controls how fast the numbers tick up. It's like a speedometer on a car, accelerating smoothly. This coroutine kicks off by showing the current score starting at 0. We grab the current score and the high score from the game manager. Just like looking at your bank balance before an investment, you need to know what's already there. If the player's current score is higher than the high score, we show the new best text, letting them know they've beat their old record, and we update the high score in the game manager. But if they didn't beat it, we keep the new best text hidden. No need to show it when they've got nothing new to brag about. We also update the best score text one more time to make sure it's all accurate. Then we set the speed for the animation based on how long we want it to run. Here's the clever bit. As time passes, we use the speed curve to smoothly animate the score counting up. Every frame, the score gets higher till it reaches the current score. It's like counting your profits, nice and steady. Once the animation's done, we make sure the score stops exactly at the current score, just in case it overshoots. Can't have the numbers being off, can we? Finally, when the player clicks play, we make a sound with click clip, a nice little confirmation click, like locking in your bets. And then we tell the game manager to switch to the gameplay scene. Off you go, ready for the next round. There you go, each part broken down like a blueprint for a beginner. Keep it simple, keep it straight, just like life.
All right, mates, listen up, time to put those scripts to work, yeah? We've done all the coding, now it's time to make sure things are linked up proper in Unity. Like setting up a pub, you can't just buy the drinks, you've got to stock them up behind the bar. Step 1. Assign the sound manager. First off, select the sound manager object. You see that audio source component on the right? Drag it right into the slot where it says effect source in the inspector. Simple as drag gin and a pint to the front of the bar, yeah? This makes sure that when we call the play sound method in the script, it knows exactly what audio source to use to play the sound. Step 2. Main Menu Manager Setup. Now, head over to the Main Menu Manager object. It's like choosing your top staff, you need to assign the right jobs to the right people. Over in the inspector, you'll see 3 fields: Score Text, New Best Text, and Best Score Text. These are the slots where we link up the objects from our UI. Example. Think of it like this, you've got 3 signs in a pub. One shows the total money made tonight, one shows the best night ever, and the last one lights up when you've had your best night ever. You gotta make sure each sign's wired to the right numbers, or you'll have the bartender's tip show winch as the best score. Step 3. Assigning the UI objects. Score Text, drag in the UI text object for the player's score. New Best Text, drag in the UI object that says New Best when the player breaks their high score. Best Score Text, drag in the object for the all-time high score. Get that set up right, it's the number players will be chasing like their top shot. Step 4. Animation time. Now, let's set the animation time. It's how long we want the score to tick up from 0 to the current score, make it 1.6 seconds. Why 1.6? Well, it's like pouring a pint, you want it to flow smooth, not too fast, not too slow. Gets the job done nice and steady. Step 5. Click sound. Last part, where it says click clip, we're gonna assign the sound that plays when the player clicks on the buttons. You can grab the sound file I've put in the assets folder. Just like ringing the bell to call last orders, we want a click sound that lets players know they're moving on to the next round. Drag that audio file right into the slot, and boom, we're good to go. So there we have it, lads and lasses. We've got our objects talking to the scripts. Everything in place, like getting your whole operation running smooth. Now, give it a test run, see how the numbers fly up, and make sure those sounds play out just right. We're building something big here.
Alright, mates, now we're marking our play button work. First, select the play button in the hierarchy. Scroll down in the inspector to the button, Script, section. Now, under On Click, click that plus icon. Drag the Main Menu Manager game object right in there. Then, from the drop-down, select Main Menu Manager and choose Click Play. And just like that, when you click the play button, it's gonna kick off the game. Nice and simple, innit? Now, let's see if it works, yeah? I'm gonna hit the play button and, voila! Look at that, I'm redirected to the gameplay scene. It's all working smooth like a fine whiskey, innit? Can't beat that satisfaction, right? Alright, let's talk about what the gameplay scene is all about. This is where the action happens, mates. Players will be dodging obstacles, racking up points, and aiming for that high score. Right then, it's time to dive into the gameplay scene. Quick as a flash, let's switch from the main menu to gameplay. Now, we'll adjust the camera settings just like we did before for the main menu. Just follow my lead, mates, simple as that. Let's make this game shine. We will design the gameplay scene. I already explained the basic previously, so I won't repeat that again. You might already know how to design, right? So just follow me what I am doing, and let's finish this quick.
Type it through the night, screen so full of light. Code runs out, that's right, deadline's almost tight. Errors in the code, bugs like hidden modes. Sweat drips feeling bold, fixing loops and notes. How to give this viewers the code. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to gold, new town. Lines and function sound. Make this game renowned. Renowned. Ideas taking flight, pixelated might. Designs out of sight, brings the game to life. Pressure builds a thrill, fingers move with skill. Flowing like a drill, reaching for that mill. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to gold, new town. Lines and function sound. Make this game renowned. Ideas taking flight, pixelated light. Designs out of sight, brings the game to life. Pressure builds a thrill, fingers move with skill. Flowing like a drill, reaching for that mill. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to gold, new town. Lines and function sound. Make this game renowned. Stack your lines like bricks, gotta build this empire. Debugging through the night, fueled by my desire. Pixels on the screen, got my vision in sight. But these bugs keep creeping, trying to dim my light. Coding my dreams and see hashtag Java. But the hate's too real, feels like a bad drama. They click for a second, then they ghost like a thief. While I'm grinding in silence, can't get no relief. Watch me push through, I'll never back down. Got my team in the booth, we'll wear that crown. From the client to launch, we'll make them all see. Game dazzling hard, it's the way it should be. Yo, stacking lines like bricks, gotta build this empire. Debugging through the night, fueled by my desire. Pixels on the screen, got my vision in sight. But these bugs keep creeping, trying to dim my light. Coding my dreams in C hashtag and Java. But the hate's too real, feels like a bad drama. They click for a second, then they ghost like a thief. While I'm grinding in silence, can't get no relief. Watch me push through, I'll never back down. Got my team in the booth, we'll wear that crown. From the grind to the launch, we'll make them all see. Game devs hustling hard, it's the way it should be. Yeah. Type it through the night, screen so full of light. Code runs out, that's right, deadline's almost tight. Errors in the code, bugs like hidden modes. Sweat drips feeling bold, fixing loops and notes. How to give this viewers the code. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to gold, new town. Lines and function sound. Make this game renowned. Renowned. Ideas taking flight, pixelated might. Designs out of sight, brings the game to life. Pressure builds a thrill, fingers move with skill. Flowing like a drill, reaching for that mill. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to gold, new town. Lines and function sound. Make this game renowned. Ideas taking flight, pixelated light. Designs out of sight, brings the game to life. Pressure builds a thrill, fingers move with skill. Flowing like a drill, reaching for that mill. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to go, new town. Lines of function sound. Make this game renowned. Stack your lines like bricks. Gotta build this empire. Debugging through the night, fueled by my desire. Pixels on the screen, got my vision in sight. But these bugs keep creeping, trying to dim my light. Coding my dreams and see hashtag Java. But the hate's too real, feels like a bad drama. They click for a second, then they ghost like a thief. While I'm grinding in silence, can't get no relief. Watch me push through, I'll never back down. Got my team in the booth, we'll wear that crown. From the client to launch, we'll make them all see. Game dazzling hard, it's the way it should be. Yo, stacking lines like bricks, gotta build this empire. Debugging through the night, fueled by my desire. Pixels on the screen, got my vision in sight. But these bugs keep creeping, trying to dim my light. Coding my dreams in C hashtag and Java. But the hate's too real, feels like a bad drama. They click for a second, then they ghost like a thief. While I'm grinding in silence, can't get no relief. Watch me push through, I'll never back down. Got my team in the booth, we'll wear that crown. From the grind to the launch, we'll make them all see. Game devs hustling hard, it's the way it should be. Type it through the night, screen so full of light. Code runs out the thread, deadline's almost tight. Errors in the code, bugs like hidden modes. Sweat drips feeling bold, fixing loops and notes. How to give this viewers the code. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to go, new town. Lines of function sound. Make this game renowned. Renowned. Ideas taking flight, pixelated might. Designs out of sight, brings the game to life. Pressure builds a thrill, fingers move with skill. Flowing like a drill, reaching for that mill. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to go, new town. Lines of function sound. Make this game renowned. Ideas taking flight, pixelated light. Designs out of sight, brings the game to life. Pressure builds a thrill, fingers move with skill. Flowing like a drill, reaching for that mill. Speed up, no time, slow down. Race to go, new town. Lines of function sound. Make this game renowned. Stack your lines like bricks, gotta build this empire. Debugging through the night, fueled by my desire. Pixels on the screen, got my vision in sight. But these bugs keep creeping, trying to dim my light. Coding my dreams and see hashtag Java. But the hate's too real, feels like a bad drama. They click for a second, then they ghost like a thief. While I'm grinding in silence, can't get no relief. Watch me push through, I'll never back down. Got my team in the booth, we'll wear that crown. From the client to launch, we'll make them all see. Game dazzling hard, it's the way it should be. Yo, stacking lines like bricks, gotta build this empire. Debugging through the night, fueled by my desire. Pixels on the screen, got my vision in sight. But these bugs keep creeping, trying to dim my light. Coding my dreams in C hashtag and Java. But the hate's too real, feels like a bad drama. They click for a second, then they ghost like a thief. While I'm grinding in silence, can't get no relief. Watch me push through, I'll never back down. Got my team in the booth, we'll wear that crown. From the grind to the launch, we'll make them all see. Game devs hustling hard, it's the way it should be.
It is time for Code the Gameplay Manager. Let's roll it. Alright, let's break it down, one line at a time, nice and easy. This variable here is called hasGameFinished, and it's a fancy way of asking, is the game over? We use it to control when the game should stop counting score and doing other things. Next, we've got _score text. This is the text on the screen that shows your score as you play. By marking it with serialize field, we can assign it in Unity's inspector, so the script knows which text object to update. Here, we've got three more variables: score, which stores how many points you've earned, score speed, which is how fast the score is going up, and current level, which tells us which level we're on. Simple, right? Now, _level speed and _level max are lists, basically a collection of values. _level speed will store how fast the score should go up for each level, and _level max holds the maximum score needed to move to the next level. We'll set these values up in Unity. Now, let's get into the awake method. When the game starts, this code tells the game manager that everything is ready to go by setting is initialized to true. We're letting the game know we're good to begin. We're starting with score equals 0, so no points yet, and current level equals 0, meaning we're on the first level. Then we update the score text on the screen with _scoreText.text, displaying that big ol' 0. Here, we set score speed to match the speed defined for the current level, which is level 0 at the moment. So, we're telling the game how fast to increase the score as we play. Next up is the update method. This runs every frame. In update, first we check if hasGameFinished is true. If it is, we exit the method right away. Nothing else matters if the game's over. Now, if the game's still going, we add to the score. We take score speed and multiply it by time.delta time, which just means how long has it been since the last frame. That way, the score increases smoothly over time. Then, we update the _score text on the screen to reflect the new score, converting it to an integer because no one needs to see decimal points in their score. Now, if the score exceeds the maximum score for the current level, it's time to level up. We use math clamp to make sure we don't go out of bounds with our levels, keeping things in check. Then we update score speed to match the speed for the new level. Next up is the gameEnded method. When the game ends, we set hasGameFinished equals true to stop everything. We also store the final score in Game Manager instance.currentScore. After that, we start a coroutine to handle the transition to the game over screen. Lastly, in Game Over, we wait for 2 seconds to give players a moment to realize the game's over, then we use Go to Main Menu to take them back to the main menu screen. Simple as that. So, there you go. This script is all about managing gameplay, keeping track of the score, and transitioning between levels. It controls what happens when the game ends and sends you back to the main menu. Smooth, yeah? Let's move to the next script, which is player. First up, we've got our variables. This here controls how fast our player spins. Think of it like a carnival ride, too fast, and you're having a laugh, but too slow. Boring. Next, we've got sounds. _move clip plays when we move, and _lose clip. Well, that's for when things go belly up. This fella here is our link to the gameplay manager, which handles what happens when we lose. We need that. And lastly, this is our explosion prefab. When things go boom, this is what we're spawning. Now, let's look at the update function. Here, we're checking if you've clicked the left mouse button. Time to take action, right? When you click, we play that moving sound. Keeps it lively. And here, we flip the spin. One click changes the direction, just like that. Next, we have fixed update, where the real magic happens. This line keeps our player spinning. The rotation speed depends on our _rotate speed. It's like a top, keep it spinning. Now, onto onTrigger Enter 2D, where things can get a bit messy. We check if we've hit an obstacle. If we have, it's game over, mate. When we hit an obstacle, we create that explosion effect right where the player is. Boom. And we play the lose sound. Makes it all the more dramatic, doesn't it? Then, we call the game manager to signal that the game has ended. It's curtains, folks. Finally, we destroy the player object. No coming back from that. Alright, now it's time to assign the values to the objects, mates. Let's get to it. First, select the Gameplay Manager game object and drag and drop the source text into the appropriate slot. Simple as that. Now, move on to the player game object. Set the rotation speed to 120. We want it spinning like a whirligig, yeah? From the Asset folder, drag and drop the sound clip for movement into the _move clip slot. And don't forget to add the explosion particles we created earlier into the explosion prefab. You want it looking good when things go boom. Next, head back to the Gameplay Manager. Set the level speed to 5 and input the values I'm using, but don't be shy, experiment with your own values if you fancy it. Same deal with the level max, set that to 5 and add your own desired values. Go on, have a bit of fun with it. And there you have it, all set up for some action in the gameplay. Time to code the obstacle script, let's move on. We declare two variables for the minimum and maximum rotation speed. Using serialize field means we can set these values from the Unity inspector, making it easier to tweak without touching code. This variable stores the current speed at which the obstacle rotates. It's private, meaning it can only be accessed within this class. Similar to the speed variables, these hold the minimum and maximum time for how long the obstacle will rotate. Here, we have two more private variables. Rotate time stores how long the obstacle will rotate before changing speed, and current rotate time keeps track of how long it's been rotating. This method is called when the script instance is being loaded. It's a great place to initialize variables. We start current rotate time at 0 because the rotation hasn't begun yet. His line sets the current rotate speed to a random value between _minute rotate speed and _max rotate speed. The random range 0-11 generates a random integer from 0 to 10, which we then scale to the range we defined. Here, we do the same for rotate time, determining how long the obstacle will rotate based on the defined minute and max times. This flips the rotation direction randomly. If it's 0, it keeps the speed positive. If it's 1, it makes it negative, causing the object to rotate in the opposite direction. This method is called once per frame, allowing us to update things like movement or rotation. We add the time since the last frame to current rotate time. This helps track how long the obstacle has been rotating. Here, we check if the time spent rotating has exceeded the rotate time. If it has, we reset current rotate time to 0 to start counting again. Just like before, we set a new random speed for the next rotation phase. We also set a new rotate time for the next cycle. And again, we randomly flip the rotation direction. This method is called at a fixed interval and is used for physics-related updates. Finally, we rotate the obstacle based on the current rotate speed. The time.fixed delta time ensures that the rotation speed remains consistent, regardless of frame rate. And that's a wrap. This script makes the obstacles spin at varying speeds and durations, keeping things dynamic and unpredictable. Now go at Unity, select the obstacle game object, make sure the box Collider 2D has the triggered option checked, and then on the obstacle script assign the values same like I do. Or you can play with your own values. Completely up to you. Alright mate, finally we did it. If you followed me up to this point, you've already become something special. Our next project is gonna be big, so stay subscribed and stay alert. Keep the practice up, and I'll see you in the next one.
Speed up, no time, slow down, race to gold, new town. Lines of function and sound, make this game renowned. Renowned, renowned. Ideas taking flight, pixelated night. Designs out of sight, brings the game to life. Extra builds a thrill, fingers move with skill, flowing like a drill, reaching for that mill. Speed up, no time, slow down, race to gold, new town. Lines of function sound, make this game renowned. Renowned.